Friends, we got a bunch of big news updates out there and a bunch of reports from the Watchman community. We got 60,000 more turkeys culled. We got Germany shutting down one of their fertilizer plants due to high energy prices. Natural gas shortages across Europe causing that. It's going to impact slaughterhouses. It's going to impact fertilizer. And it's going to just get worse as the prices go up. We've been talking about that, and here are some of the knock-on effects. We got meatballs moving into crisis, and beef, friends, it's starting. We've been warning about wholesale beef prices, and they are starting to move upwards. We have a Texas rancher explaining why this will be so bad and how long the beef crisis will last. The Biden administration has gotten the Cuban government to release political prisoners in exchange for ending sanctions. We also have the SEC, the Securities and Exchange Commission, suing Elon Musk. And it's a doozy. It's a fun one. And several big recalls from Aldi and Walmart that you need to be aware of. We got that and a whole lot more. Let's get into it. Welcome to the Poplar Report. I'm Steve Poplar. I'm an accountant by trade, and these are your updates that you guys are sending in. Appreciate all of you. If you have something to report, make sure you use the word update. Somewhere in your comment, make sure you give us some sort of geographical location if it's relevant to your post. Sometimes you guys post some great stuff, but it doesn't have a geographical location. It's not really useful. But appreciate all of you guys sending in stuff. If you want to find out more about Genesis Gold, they're the sponsor of these updates. They make this all possible. They really believe in making sure that people are informed and educated. And if you talk to them, you'll find that out very quickly. They're not there to sell you something. They're there to educate you, answer your questions, and help you discover whether it's a good fit for you. So if you want to get out of stocks and bonds into gold and silver or platinum in your IRA, 401k, there'll be a link at the end of the video to find out more. All right. Impeached South Korean president has now been arrested for his order for martial law. We covered that on this channel a bit ago. And the Korean government is not messing around. Not only did they kick him out of office, but they've gone further and have ordered him arrested. There was a showdown between protesters, unarmed protesters who were forming human chains in front of the presidential compound. The presidential, essentially the Secret Service there, agreed to allow the police in to arrest the president. Pretty serious stuff going on over in South Korea. People messed around and they are finding out that you don't do tyranny. Tyranny is not good. Don't do that. Hopefully some other Western countries, we have that find out time as well. Jenny says U.S. Department of Agriculture recalls Aldi frozen 20-ounce packages of Casa Mamita chicken and cheese taquitos. So if you've gotten any of those recently, you must check to see if they have been recalled. They've been produced between July 3rd and September 25th. Bits of metal have been found in them, so check your freezers. That was a little bit ago. So if you still have those kind of things in your freezer, they may be actually under recall. Walmart is also recalling a common item, 12,000 cartons of chicken broth. Now, we're talking about the Great Value brand, so you might have that in your stocks as well. Stocks, see what I did there? I keep you entertained any way I can. But the packaging was apparently compromised on this this large batch, and some of them have been exposed to bacterial contamination. So it may look like the package is sealed, but bacteria may have gotten in there and caused it to go bad. Definitely sniff those things before you use them, but better yet, do a Google search and check to see if yours has been recalled. SEC is suing Elon Musk for failure, get this, for failure to properly disclose his Twitter ownership. Now, just in case you've been living under a rock, Elon Musk owns Twitter. And it was kind of big news. It was like It was like big news for months and months and months. Everybody knew about it. I'm talking about people in Timbuktu knew that Elon Musk had bought Twitter, right? So everybody knew this. It's like a fact. But apparently he had to fill out a form or something to let the SEC know that he owned Twitter. Now, I don't know, maybe he should have bought a billboard or I don't. Paperwork, friends, paperwork. It doesn't matter how stupid the paperwork is, it still needs to be filled out because somebody could buy something secretly and not disclose it. But I mean, I think we all kind of knew about the Elon Musk buying Twitter thing. So, seems kind of frivolous to me. All right, the flag rebellion keeps growing. So a lot of people are upset by the fact that the flag will be at half-mast over federal buildings by Biden's decree, which is in line with tradition for a former president passing away. Flags at federal facilities are at half-mast for 30 days. That's how it's been done for a great many years. I mean, it's not like Biden came up with that. But conservatives and libertarians apparently just not happy with that. So they are demanding that states not follow this. But of course, states don't have federal facilities, right? They have state facilities. So anyway, Texas, Florida, Iowa, and now the U.S. Capitol building have all decreed that their flags will be at full mast for the inauguration, which, okay, cool. Kudos to you. Way to go get them or something. I don't know. Friends, we need to make sure that we're not expending all of our energy on symbolic and petty stuff. There's a lot of fights ahead, a lot of meaningful fights. Hopefully we're not expending all of our capital on these type of incidents. Because quite frankly, we should mourn previous presidents passing, I guess. Or at least that's what we've decided to do in the past, so I don't know. Do we really need exceptions? I don't know. I don't really care either way. That's my point. My point is, I don't care, and this is, it seems petty to me. Anyway, Europe has agreed to boost defense cooperation under Trump. Now, this is coming from the German minister over there. So much for the idea that Trump will destroy NATO, I guess, because apparently he's already strengthened it and he's not even president yet. Way to break them narratives. Shady says, not surprised. There are so many Chinese that are recently, we talked about how there were 3 million military-aged Chinese males inside the United States and potentially prepared to sabotage, or at least some of them prepared to sabotage things. But Shady says, not surprised there are so many Chinese that are recently hired to work for the branch of government I work for. And they regularly visit their homeland. Rather odd if they're trying to get away from the CCP, don't you think? I think we have less than 5 years. I hope I'm wrong. They don't disclose which branch or which department they work for in the government, but these people are tasked with infiltrating. Foreign governments want to get their people into our organs of democracy, so to speak, right? And we're letting it happen. We're absolutely letting it happen because we don't want to be racist. I Ate Bigfoot says dozens of eggs were $8 a dozen in Price Chopper in upstate New York. Welcome to the $8 Club. Helios says I paid $8.29 for a dozen eggs in Rapid City, South Dakota, at the grocery store, and there were only 3 packages of dozen eggs this morning at the grocery store there in Rapid City. Welcome also to the $8 Club. We're getting more and more places, and these are not, South Dakota is not a place that I would expect to hit the $8 Club, but We're hearing some weird places like South Carolina. So we're starting to hear some places down the south are getting up to the $8 mark. And really what we're seeing here, once again, is these are the grocery stores that are having to renew their contracts, their purchasing agreements. When their purchasing agreements phase out, they need to bring a new one in. And they're having to be locked in at a much higher rate. And they're passing that on to the customers. All right, Daniel says, update on shortages. This is Germany. Probably impacting other countries, though, as well. We'll have to expect fertilizer shortages here in Germany. Why is that? A large industrial producer, SKW, something I can't pronounce, announced that they plan to reduce their production due to high natural gas prices. We told you this was coming, and we've talked about this before when natural gas prices were up. Also, Kali Sal's plan to reduce their activities for several reasons as well. And internationally, Iran, who is still a large exporter of fertilizers, because they like making things that go boom, okay? Their source for fertilizer appears to be Russia. Yes, we still import fertilizers from there. So Russia exports them to Iran. Iran then exports them to Europe. It's like money laundering, but like fertilizer laundering. Additional side effects from SKW's cut of production. Narcotic gases used in the slaughterhouses will probably be less available. So these facilities that are producing fertilizer, they're producing lots of different chemicals. You feed in natural gas. They use chemical stuff to break down the gas into different elements and everything like that, and they start forming different products out of them. But natural gas is used to fuel and to power these chemical plants. So as they're idling these plants, we're going to see a lot of impacts. Not only the gases used in slaughterhouses, but also AdBlue, which is used in to reduce emissions from trucks and stuff. But trucks are set up so that they have to have this urea, basically, inside the thing. And people are going to say urea comes from urine. No, it doesn't. It comes from natural gas. Basically, it's chemically produced from natural gas. That's how it's done these days. So, yeah, there is a chemical compound of urea in urine, but there's really no economical way of getting that out, okay? So that's being impacted out there as well. So guess what happens to supply chains when diesel, fertilizer, and these other things are impacted? Yeah, Europe is going to be in a world of hurt, and it's just moving that direction. Everything in the Western world operates on energy. Energy is so very important, and they think that they can just have energy prices go up and it not impact everything. No Direction says Sumner, Illinois, killed 60,000 turkeys for their bird flu, or alleged bird flu. This is from Anonymous. Texas goat rancher. Year before last, the hay price went through the roof. We covered that before. And this past year, cattle prices have doubled since the previous year. A lot of farmers had to sell off due to high operating costs when the hay was expensive. It kept beef price artificially low, though. Now this past year was easy and a lot of rain, so extra hay. But the beef herd is still low. It's very small. And nobody wants to invest in the beef herd since cattle price is too low. It's 2 to 3 times what it was a year ago, but slaughterhouses still hasn't changed their price, so it's costing them 2 to 3 times to operate, but slaughterhouses are paying them the same amount of money. So ranchers are just like, this isn't worth it. So this is going to be like a whip, right? It's going this way, and when it comes back, it's going to crack, and it's going to break the sound barrier. So until price raises, doubles, or quadruples, then increasing the herd size past operating costs isn't likely for a year or two. So even the farmers won't be upsizing anytime soon, and they will still be on the decline for a year or two, even as prices at the retail stores go crashing through the roof. If the fact is that it costs 2 or 3 times more to operate and to raise beef, that means if things just adjust very gently and smoothly, we're going to see beef prices 2 or 3 times higher than what they are right now. Okay? But then we're going to have the whipsaw effect. We're going to have the whip effect. And we could see 6, 8, 10 times the beef price that we're currently seeing. And if you think that sounds crazy, friends, that's what the industry professionals are telling us. That's what places like McDonald's, companies that need beef, that's what they're seeing, and they're trying to get ahead of that. If you're not trying to get ahead of that, well, then you just don't want to eat beef, okay? Sir Gregor in Lebanon, Indiana, Walmart. All GV frozen meatballs are gone, and only about a dozen other brands of the other brands are left. So all the GV cheap stuff gone, but then they have just a few of the name brand expensive ones. In general, frozen meats and chicken are low in the freezer section. We're hearing a lot more of that out there. Standing Watch in Arizona says, I work in a prison in Arizona. Got word that the complex water storage is drying up. So we have to share with the inmates. They're being told to cut back on their water use. How do inmates cut back on their water use, right? If this is are they watering their lawns? Anyway, if this is happening now, what in the world is going to happen this summer? We're expecting an unusually hot summer because, you know, climate change. I just added that last little part because that's what we're supposed to say, right? Melissa says, Covington, Kentucky, just came from Kroger. Milk now $2.79. Dozen white eggs now $3.99. That's still a decent price. Only 1/3 of the milk and eggs they used to have. Not even bothering to fill in items, just empty coolers. Well, they can't lose money selling stuff that's just not on the shelf. Tyson Chicken were buy one, get one, but there was no chicken on the shelf. Sales don't hurt their bottom line if there's nothing on the shelf. Meat sections were so very low. What's Next says, thanks for the updates and staying on top of these so important issues. Thanks to you and some others, I started preparing ahead for at least 2 years out. Everything I like and the others and some others. Hopefully they can act accordingly. No time to analyze, time to utilize. All of this is happening and it's all over us right now and looking like it's going to get a lot worse. Pray and prep, everyone. Good advice, folks. If you have something to share, make sure you use the word update. Pop it down in the comments on this video or on any video. All right, if you want to get some more information from Genesis Gold or have a conversation with them, there's a link right there. Just tap it on the screen and fill out your information and they'll get in contact with you. If you want to check out another video from this channel, here's the latest one right up here. I'll see you over there, or I'll see you guys later. Steve Poplar of the Poplar Report out.